Alright, here we are, lovely Grand Tower, Illinois. Today we are doing some fossil hunting. Got a lot of Devonian stuff here. It's all washing out from up there. Devonian up there. There's a big fault line between the two. That'll get you into Mississippian way back there, but we're not going to worry about that. Go across the river here in the Silurian, and then back over there you're in the Devonian. We'll start on the beach today with the fossil hunting, and then we'll probably go up to the ridge later because you'll find better stuff up there. But yeah, gonna be a fun day. Coming down here, we got some small stuff. Primarily broken shell fragments, bryozoans, brachiopods, things like that. Not gonna take this one home, but cool to show you. Just on the beach here. Alright, let's see what we can find in here. Not seeing too much. We had some flooding here recently and it kind of washed things out a bit too much for my liking. Typically this beach is much more loaded. Oh, got a little bit of a horn coral there. Kind of broken one. Not gonna take that home. Have better at the house, but cool to see. Some travertine build up there. It's kind of neat. Little pile someone made. This place is pretty popular for mainly fishing and metal detecting, but not too many people consider the fossils. It's a popular spot for me and my friends, though. What we got here? Nothing. Just a ball. You gotta be careful with rounded ones because sometimes those can be what we call a steinkern, which is the inner tracings of a brachiopod where the shell is eroded and just the inside is left. They look pretty similar to just a rounded rock, but they got a pretty distinct shape. If I find one later, I will show you. The main thing we're looking here, though, in these Devonians is trilobites. Really good trilobites in these rocks. Gotta be a bit lucky for them, but got a little coral thing there as well. It's been ionized. Yeah, there's a couple species of trilobites here. The main one that's really cool has a compound eyes if you get the heads preserved. It's really interesting. I've only found one of those, but they're pretty cool. If I don't end up finding one today, I'll show you some of my pieces from this location towards the end of the video. Got some more shell fragments here. Some big shell over here. Big old brachiopod. And not gonna take that home. But yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, the beach ain't too plentiful today. Normally, this thing is covered in gravel that fell down, but I guess the last flooding washed it all out. It's pretty unfortunate. There's some stuff up there towards the water. We'll go check out now. On the way there and found this big limestone block with some calcite crystals. It's cool. Definitely not taking this home. I have way too much calcite, especially that big boulder. I mean, that's gonna be too heavy to carry, especially for that tiny bit calcite, but it's cool to show you. Some good old natural calcite. Down to this big one with a bunch of shell fragments. It's pretty cool. Some people metal detecting behind me. If you're wondering what all that noise is. Not seeing too much here on the beach though. Oh, what's this? Ooh, this is interesting. This could actually be a placoderm. Oh. That's very interesting. I know you can find them here, but I've never had too much luck, but you can find placoderm fragments. I think this might be one. I'll have to go ask a friend who's better versed in this stuff. Definitely gonna grab this. This could be a placoderm scale. That'd be really cool. Some shell fragments on that one. Nothing too crazy. Big concrete slabs. There used to be an old dock here or something. Crazy. Unfortunate. Not my lucky day. But yeah, that has mainly to do with the floods. Normally there's tons of stuff here. Closer to the beach, this stuff is more hodgepodge and stuff I'm looking for. But I've occasionally found a thing or two in this hodgepodge. Nothing today though, it seems. A little shell there. Tiny little guy. But not Mr. Trilobite. Might have better look for those when we get up into the cliffs later. That could be interesting. What do we got? Oh. Some sort of gastropod. Like the top of a spirally gastropod shell. That is interesting. It's not too common for this stuff. I think I'll bag that. Got a big shell here. See if there's anything else on the bottom or anything. Nah, I don't see anything. Not even worth busting open. Cool shell though. Getting pretty close to the water here. Yeah, I don't know if I probably didn't explain earlier because I wasn't thinking, but if you don't know what a placoderm is, it's like an armored fish. If you're familiar with Dunkelocitus. That's a really big one. These guys are much smaller, but it is the same age. All Devonian stuff. Nope, nothing. But yeah, probably should have mentioned that when I found that piece. But I've had friends find placoderm scales in this material before. So, I'm hoping that is one. I'll go bring it to one of them in the coming days. See what they think. As you expect from my channel name, I'm the guy they go to for minerals, and I typically go to them for fossils. But we all do appreciate both. I'm not seeing too much here, though. Some more shell fragments on those various pieces, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy in the slightest. Got another little horn coral there. It's a pretty decent one, but probably gonna leave them. Ooh. Okay, that actually was worth picking up. Look at that massive negative for a shell. Holy crap. Okay, we'll take this one home. Some small shell fragments here, but I actually kneeled down because I noticed this. This is probably one of the only brachiopods I know by name, which is an orthospirifer. They're pretty common in these Devonian rocks. I believe they might actually be an index for upper to mid Devonian. Not too sure about that, so don't take my word for it, but I remember it being pretty important to Devonian stuff, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Take this guy home. Look at that little bevel in the middle. That's how these guys are typically found, and as well as their wingspan. It's kind of broken, but it would typically be much wider. Pretty cool little guy. Well, enough, I didn't actually find this. One of the other people here did. They brought it to me wondering what it was because they knew I was fossil hunting. And here it is. That's the middle section of a trilobite. It's the right species too, with the compound eyes. It's the middle section. It's a bit coiled, which is pretty neat. But yeah, that's the target. They let me keep it, thankfully. Thankful for them, because they're metal detecting. They don't care about this stuff. They just thought it was weird. Brought it to me. Very cool. Very, very cool. Coming home with me. Alright. You're here where I found some good calcite before. There's a beer can. Let's see all this is calcite. All this calcite's pretty stuck in there though. Oh, there's a nice loose piece. I'll put that over there. Another nice loose one. So this thing would be crazy to get out. This whole thing is like a calcitized piece of coral, actually. But I don't think that's coming out for quite a while. There's a nice piece. Nice piece. That's one I might take home. Let's see. You could probably dig that out. See if maybe I can dig down to that and they get this bad boy out. I'll let you know if I do. Alright. So beach wasn't as productive aside from those little pieces I found and that trilobite the person brought me. But we're gonna check these cliffs right here. This stuff I know there's not going to be too much in. This stuff tends to be pretty unproductive from times I've been. A lot of big chert nodules in there, but up on that ridge I know there's some decent calcite. Last time I've been up there. Might go check it out. I'm gonna turn the camera off while I climb this because that would be a bit dangerous. So see you in a second. Be able to pry this monster out. Let's see, some nice. They're like stalactitic. Cobden travertine. These nice crystals came out behind it. There's a ton more in here. See them poking out there. Nice little chunk. Host rock. Should all be calcite there too. Hard to tell which is which right now because everything's so dirty. Oh, there's a nice chunk. Pretty basic calcite though. I think what I'm gonna do is let Mother Nature take care of the rest of this. I got this bad boy out and all those over there. I'll do a little update later in the video with the cleaned up pieces. And yeah, pretty cool. Alright, took myself a good little break after lifting that heavy calcite. Now we can go some fossil hunting in the bluffs here. See what we can find. Hopefully some more trilobites. I've had better luck in these hills with finding them. Now let's see here. You want to look for the orangish pieces of limestone. That indicates oxidation. And there was life, as you can see here, actually. Small shell fragments. Let's see, on this one. This was the same material that was on the beach. Huge one coral right there, wow. Look at that. See it next to my hand there, that's a pretty big one. I'm not gonna bother chipping that out though. Too much work. If that was a trilobite, however, I would have been there. Alright. Let's check this stuff out. Let's see. Some bryozoan lace there. Too much over here from what I can see. There's a big barge moving on the river. Arms are gonna be sore tomorrow from that calcite, let me tell you. What we got here? Just some broken shells, nothing. What's this? Some coral. Alright. Doesn't seem this area is too productive. I'm gonna turn the camera off while I climb to the top there. Alright, one of the big downsides. Sometimes you'll climb all the way up here just to find diddly squat. I ain't seen nothing but some broken shell fragments up here. And not even of trilobites. No bueno. But, like fishing, bad day fossil hunting is better than a good day in the office. Plus we still got plenty more ridge to check out, so. But yeah, just thought I'd point that out. Sometimes you'll do a nice long hike up to the top of a good hill or good mountain just to get skunked. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time whenever I get over there. Alright, we've come over here, walked over. This area has been pretty productive for me in the past. So we'll see if it holds up today. Little shell there. Bunch of shells there. Let's see if there's anything on the sides or on the back. Don't look like it. Nope. Oh, you are very weathered. There's a bit of a trilobite right there, those lines, but he has not been treated well by Mother Nature. So he's gonna stay. Let's see what else we can find. Calcite right there. Nothing crazy. What we got down here? A little bit of a nice brack there, but no guarantee that's gonna pop out well. Pretty good with a hammer, but definitely no stonemason. What we got going on here? Shell fragments, little top of a horn coral. Nothing much else though. Anything on this guy? No. shells there, lots of shells here actually. No trilobites though. Got all this to check. Ooh, almost tripped there. That would not have been good. If you're wondering why I don't go straight up to there, just because you want to see the tops and bottoms of these, because they're going to be deposited horizontally. So you're not going to find too much on the sides, and even if you do, it's going to be significantly harder to break out of something up there than something down here. So, I like to check the talus. Great thing Mother Nature does for us. Makes rocks fall. Let's see here. Some small shells. Don't know if I'll end up going later. But there's another spot where you can find trilobites that I might hit up on the way home. But it's a problem because trilobites there are pretty big. Sometimes you'll get a situation like this where you have a leaf that's hitting the angle just right to trip you. Typically doesn't happen here. These species are much smaller, but at that other location they can get pretty large, and the leaf will trip you up. Let's see here. Nothing. Alrighty. Get my foot in here. Some nice horn corals there. That's about it for this one though. Just 2 nice horn corals. A bunch more on the side here actually, but those 2 are the main ones. Not gonna take that though. I've got plenty of horn corals. It's a pretty chilly day out, won't lie. It's not too bad though. Definitely, like last week it was pretty miserable here, like 5 degrees, but 30 ain't too bad. 30 and 40s. Still gets my nose running though. Sorry if you hear me sniffling. Ugh. Okay. Let's see here. Ugh. Leaf. Shells, some more shells. Lots of shells in these rocks. Oh, there's a big one there. Can stay though. Don't see anything poking up there. Alright, I'm gonna turn the camera off while I climb around this bush pile. See you in a bit. Actually, on my way up there, check up there, and I spotted this guy. Small fragment of a trilobite, but it is one nonetheless. See right there. There's the middle section, there's the side. The side's rooted off. There could be more deeper in there, but I don't think this one's worth prepping out fully. But there's one in the wild. Probably take this guy home. Don't want to walk. Don't like walking home empty-handed. So yeah, gotta put that in my bag and then I'll climb up there. Alright, here we are again. Some horn corals right there. This one's pretty interesting. A bunch of bivalves sitting in there. I'm gonna take those guys home though. Work our way up a little bit. Nothing on there. funny. Alright, I'm good. A bit muddy from all the ice and snow we had recently. There we go. Much better footing. Alrighty, let's see what we got up here. Nothing crazy. Some broken shells. It's fortunate that last one was on the way up here. Of course, it'd pop up when I'm not filming. Just the way it goes. Some fresh broken stuff up there. That'll be good to check. Pretty steep hill here. Ooh. Oop, that's slippery. Careful there. Nothing I'm seeing on these rocks. Let's see about this guy. Nothing. And nothing. Ooh. Pretty neat piece of coral right there. It's gonna stay though. Not seeing too much on the wall there. Maybe over there. All right then. Okay. So that was awkward. And I don't even think there's anything over here. There's a tiny shell right there, but definitely not worth coming up here for. Just how it is. Alrighty, I'm going to climb down a bit safer this time. See you in a minute. Alright, I lied. So I decided to stay up here for a little bit longer. Check out the cliffside up and close, and actually got some interesting stuff. Got this disarticulated piece of coral here. Put that in my pocket in a minute. Got this curved bivalve there. Just a half of it. Clean up much nicer. This is what I was talking about earlier though, the steinkern, where it's the inner side of a shell. There's no shell left, but there's just the preserved, thank you camera, preserved innards of it. Oh my gosh, camera. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Kind of see the outline of what once the shell was there, but the shell is gone and the inside preserved. There's often not any organs preserved or anything. It's typically just this. Very rarely you can get some organs preserved if you were to cut this open, but I'm not. So, yeah, that's a steinkern. There's some smaller stuff up in here. There's some little shells in there. All sorts of little tiny things, but I ain't gonna spend too long picking at it. These were easy to get out, so I just figured I'd show you, but as you can see, it's pretty steep and I don't want to chip out any more here and cause myself to fall down there, because that would be bad. So yeah, that's gonna be it for up here. Now I'll actually see you in a bit. Dug this piece out. It's pretty neat. Let's see if we can try and maneuver this one out. Fragment there of calcite. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be much better washed up, but absolute monster. Stick that in the bag. I'll probably just take it straight to the car because I don't want to hold that all day. Maybe that'll give me good leverage to get this really big piece out. We will find out. Alrighty, we're back at the bottom here. There wasn't much else up there, so I didn't really film anything. Nothing too crazy. Otherwise, I'd be showing you, but there's nothing. Probably gonna call it a day here. Wanting some lunch. Gonna go head to lunch. This may or may not be the end of the video. If it is, thanks for watching. If not, well, see you soon at the next location. Regardless, see ya. So, I did end up coming up to the second location on the way. Similar age stuff. Tad bit younger, but we're still in middle Devonian. See what we can find. Lovely creek bed here. Primarily chert for this material, but some limestone bits in there as well. No trilobites. Walked here for a few minutes before I started recording. Didn't find anything yet. Well, nothing of note, I should say. Just more shells. Those are a dime a dozen out here. Big tree fall over there. Probably stop right there and head the other way up this creek. Going downstream right now. I've had pretty decent luck here in terms of trilobites. Typically, I'm out here solo today, but typically when I'm out here with some friends, at least one person will get one every time. Woo. Not seeing too much today. Look at this tree here. It's looking pretty rough. I don't feel like playing limbo today, so I'm just gonna turn around and go back the other direction. Alright, it's a bit farther up in the creek. Got this huge cut bank here. It's pretty interesting. It must have come from the recent flooding. Actually, this could be long time flooding, but still the same material. Passed by a couple more of those spirifers, but nothing of note. Getting into some chert layers over there of the host rock. You can see there. It'll be over there later. Sometimes you can find the little trilobites poking out. Good old those. But yeah, we'll walk all the way up there. Walk our way up there, Jesus. And yeah, see what we can find that's broken out already. See if Mother Nature's been kind to us. This is what I was talking about. Sometimes those leaves can trip you up and make you think it's something. But we will have a problem, especially over there when we get to the host rock. Alrighty, we made it to this little host rock ridge here. Not seeing too much. Did see something. Yeah, here it is. Really deep shell negative. It's pretty cool. Not gonna take it home though. Tons of little shells throughout this cherty limestone. Still no trilobites though. Not sure entirely what the specific species you can find at this location is either. I just know I found them here before. Car driving by. We are just on a creek by the road. Some water here, but I got boots. It's all good. Not gonna freeze my little feetsies. Haven't seen anything poking out of the limestone either. Aside from a couple shells here and there, maybe some crinoid stems. That's not what I'm after. Another shell negative. I'm not gonna bother pulling that out. Lovely limestone. Need to get to another gravel bar. The chert layers where these trilobites are coming out of. It's primarily up above this actually in this section. We're a bit too low. That's why I check the chert float. But they can also occur in this limestone. Very rare, but it's not impossible. But our better luck is definitely going to be this stuff right here. I remember this location, actually. A friend of mine, last time we were here, found a really nice one. Had some spikes attached and everything. It was really cool. Just hit my head on a branch. Okay. We're not going to go over that way typically. We run up through this way and it continues up. We technically could, but I just know there's better stuff up that way. It's when you get to the host rock of this chert material that you can find them poking out pretty regularly. Don't know if we'll make it that far. The sun is setting pretty quickly here, but if I do, I'll definitely get to show you that. If not, I'll come out here another time at some point. Okay. Continued a good bit upstream, and I thought I'd show you something else that can trip you up. These fracture lines of the chert. These trip me up from a distance all the time. And you get close, only to be disappointed. Nice little shell there, though. Oh, it's not full. This is full and disarticulated. I might have took it. A little one there. But that's all I've been finding. Figured you guys would get bored of them. but they're pretty plentiful. But still no trilobite luck yet. I was just getting ready to call it a day too. And I spotted one. Sit here, see if maybe you guys can spot it. It's a small fragment of a trilobite, but it is one nonetheless. It's right there in the center. Look at that. Not the best one, by far. But it is a piece of what we're looking for. And seemingly the only one I found for the day. So, I will take it. Yep, that's what we're looking for. Looks like the middle and left section there. Pretty cool. Getting close to the tail. Might be a little more packed in there, but definitely not worth prepping. But yeah, we finally found one. Probably gonna head back to the car, call it a day. If I find any more on the way back, you never know what I walked over. But if I find any more, I will definitely show you. Was also on the way back and just noticed this little piece of gravel. Brought in, say natural from here at least. I guess it doesn't come too far, but it's not from here. Just brought in to build up a dam, but it's got a little bit of dolomite in there. Not gonna bother taking that though. Gallowy stick. Yeah, pretty cool. Nice little dolomite crystals. This limestone bug. Made it back home. Just thought I'd show you some of the things I could have found. Firstly, that calcite, I'm too tired to clean it up tonight, but this is what it does look like cleaned up. Nice honey colored. Nice chunk of it there. It's also phosphorescent. It's pretty cool stuff. Coming over here. Here's a trilobite from that last location, or a fragment of it. Really nice one from that creek. Look at that trilobite. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And where's my other guy? There's another one there. Here's a nice one from the Grand Tower location. Maybe. Okay, focus. Nice little tail there. Really nice tail. Here's a nice head with the compound eyes. Really neat one. Yeah, these ones are from the Grand Tower location. These are what I was looking for. Those are the really cool ones from there. Just thought I'd show you what could have been. There's also this big brachiopod right here that I found there at Grand Tower previously. Somewhere in there is more plates of little trilobite butts and tails, and yeah, that's what we were mainly looking for, but we weren't too lucky today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.